Hello, everyone. It's Sharon Lead, and welcome to another edition of NetStruc Talks. So, I'm excited to have a special guest here. She is the owner and founder of a program, a business that helps women who identify their entrepreneur journey. She works on their mindset. She helps them out to see exactly what clarity they need to get to that next level. She is the founder and owner of I Am Possible Women's Empowerment Collaborative Incorporated. Stay tuned and you will be impressed of all of the great things that this young lady is doing. Stay tuned. Welcome, and it's Sharon Lead at NetStruc Talks. And I have my namesake here, Sharon Ringier, who is the founder of I Am Possible Women Empowerment Collaborative. Sharon, how are you?
I am fantastic. Thank you.
That is so great. I mean, when we connected, and we connected on LinkedIn, so, shameless plug, LinkedIn is the platform to meet some really great empowerment and some strong-minded, not only women, but men also, but strong-minded women on that platform. And that's where Sharon and I met. Sharon, talk to us about this program, this business that you decided to put together.
Well, I always say it's not by fluke because I used to say it's by fluke, but I truly don't believe in fluke or coincidences because I know sometimes God, and not sometimes God has a divine intervention for you, right? And I wanted to do a women's empowerment conference. And with that, I was like, how do I promote it? So I decided to do masterminds and like Napoleon Hill style, though, not master classes or anything like that. And we would host them monthly. That was my way of kind of getting the word out about it. And we fast forward to the conference. It's good. Everything's great. And some of the ladies walked up. So when is the next mastermind though? We don't have those dates and this is going to be over in a couple hours. And it was like mind blown. And I felt like, because the conference definitely gave me the flux. Like it was definitely working my nerves sometimes. And I'm like, okay, you know what? Give me 2 months to figure this out. Just give me 2 months to figure this out because I really just needed that break. Mm-hmm. And April 29th is the incorporation date of that's when we said, okay, we're not going to do I'm Possible Women's Empowerment Conference. We're doing a collaborative instead because I wanted it to be a collaborative effort of women working together.
Mm-hmm. So I love the name, and names mean a lot to so many people. What is the significance of you coming up with a name like that?
It's almost threefold. One, I'm a big Audrey Hepburn fanatic and I'm a big quote girl. So I love quotes. Anybody that knows me and my quotes. But my favorite quote is nothing is impossible. The word itself says I'm possible. And that really resonated with me because it really helps me to realize that, you know what? And as long as it's a dream, it's actually attainable. But then you go back to from more my Christian roots of when I read the Old Testament and Moses is going to God saying, you want me to tell Pharaoh to free your people. Who shall I say sent me? And God said, I am. Done. I am that I am. And so it's like, if I'm made in his likeness, for me to say, I am overwhelmed. I'm just a mom. I'm tired. Life and death lie in the power of the tongue. I always, it's like I tell people what you think about, you speak about. What you speak about, you be about. So it's like, don't speak that over your life. You speak positivity, you speak life into yourself because no one else can do that for you better than you. Mm-hmm. So when you say my company name, and this is a threefold, when you say my company name, I'm possible, you just spoke that over your own life.
That's amazing. A lot of people don't understand affirmations. A lot of people don't understand empowerment quotes. They feel that it doesn't work. But the more and more that you say it, the more and more that you start believing it. And that's why I love your the title of your business, because I am possible. I'm possible. I'm possible to do anything.
Right.
I'm possible to, to make a six-figure income.
Mhm.
I'm possible to do that. And the more and more you say it, the
Right.
more and more you become that.
Exactly.
I know when you work with women, you probably get them from all walks of life.
Yes.
They're, they've been beaten up, not only in the
Sometimes, yeah.
workplace and in their career, business wise, or whatever. Their self-esteem is low. What are some of the techniques or some of the strategies that you use to work with women?
So my background was event planning. So I love
Mm.
hosting events. So the one that we do, that was the premise of the business, was the masterminds. And the practice that we have with that is we come with whatever we're struggling with, whether it's professional, whether it's personal, and sometimes it's very personal. So it's a very safe platform for women to be able to come and share. But the beauty of it is when you have these women that are sitting there, and it's like we have the stereotype that we're catty, we're backstabby, but not once do I see these women with, anything negative to say. It's constantly lifting one another up. And when
Mhm.
you see that other women can support you in a way that is not societal, because when you look at how society labels us, it's horrible.
Mhm.
So when you see that there is a support system out there, there is an opportunity for you to be able to build relationships without there being a hidden agenda. That is huge. So that's
Right.
one of the pieces. And then we're just now incorporating what I call cocktails and celebrations. One of the things
Oh,
I
nice.
we don't do enough of is celebrating ourselves. And the thing is that when you're in business, and I always say everything you do when you're in business, yes, needs to figure out a way to generate revenue, because that's why we're in business. We need to eat. I love to eat. I like lobster, right? So it's like I
Mhm.
want to eat well. But if you are celebrating yourself, celebrate your win. What was it that was great that month that happened? And as you're talking about your win, you don't realize that that's technically a shameless plug about your business. And then someone is sitting there saying, "Oh man, you know what? I think I may need that kind of help." So it's like, how do we find ways to be creative without being pushy? Because the way that we're doing business now is just not effective anymore.
And
People are,
it's not healthy.
no, it's not healthy and it's not being very helpful. So those are some of the things that we look at, and then I find tools and resources to help them as well. I help with goal setting. I do vision boards, but I don't do your traditional vision board. I'll tell you, you can go home and paste stuff on paper. Let's talk about you, why you desire what you desire first. Who are you, and then what you desire, and then let's talk about how that can be manifested. Because sometimes when we think we want something, we don't understand why we want it. The
That's
best
true.
exercise was when my son came to visit me in the hospital one day. And it was hilarious because I was just planning the conference. And he's like, "Mom, why are you doing this?" And I was just like, "Well, because I want to help women, but why?" And I
Mm.
felt like I was talking to a 2-year-old, because, but why? And every question he had was, but why? And it
Mhm.
really came down to, it was actually for selfish reasons, because I feel good when I help others. And if
Mhm.
me not enabling people and finding a way to turn that part of my personality into something that could potentially be beneficial both financially and physically to help someone else, then that's it. But we feel so like ashamed when we want to do something for someone and it feels good and we do it, because it's how it makes us feel.
Right.
So
Right.
it's okay, and it's to be unapologetically like selfish sometimes.
Right. But your selfishness is not selfish for you. It's selfish because, yes, it makes you feel good,
Ex-
but it's because you're helping someone else to feel good.
yes.
And that's a gift. That's a gift. When if you really look at it, your son, he wanted to know, he wanted to understand. My son's asked me the same thing. Yo, mom, why do you do certain things? And, yes, it makes me feel good because I see I'm able to put a smile on someone's face. I'm able to relieve some type of stress from them
Right.
by me doing this or by me
Exactly.
helping them with that. And, I love the concept of the vision board, because you're getting down to the nit and gritty
Mhm.
of why is it do they want that? And I'm just going to throw it out there, new bathroom or new house. What
Oh, yeah.
what is going what's really going deep down that you want this, because when you get a house, it's other things that comes. You got to make sure
Mhm.
that the roof is okay. You got to do the, wherever you're located, if you're in, if
Right.
you're in the New York area, you got to make sure it's snow removal. So what really do you want? Is it just because you see the pump and circumstance, you see other people have it? And so I love the fact that this isn't just, cutting out the thing and putting it on the paper and then
Right.
that's it.
Well, you said the just the operative word, which was circumstance, because we tend to operate out of circumstance as opposed to operating out of our inner self.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when enabling happens. So it's, one of the things I teach in the vision board workshop is, okay, when you think of what you want, and let's say it's a red convertible, now you have to ask yourself, who is that red convertible really for? Because if it's for your spouse, that's not your vision.
Mm-hmm.
We want things for others more than we want things for ourselves. So
Right.
we tend to put those on the vision board instead of what it is that we truly want in our own hearts.
Right.
And when you can figure out, that alignment of what it is that you want, Steve Harvey said it best, and you and I were talking about this the other day. Your career is what you're paid for, but your calling is what you're made for. When you can align things where everything in your life falls into that calling, whether it's your family, your business, your friends, everything falls into alignment.
Mm-hmm.
That's when you find your peace.
Yeah. And I'm assuming, because when they come, they're beat up. So it's a struggle on your end. But when you see when you see the light bulb come out, when it gets lit, or when you see that crack from and I call it the cement, and you start chipping away at it, and then they're like, oh my gosh, like, yes, I know it's a relief. I
Yeah.
finally got to that point where I am at, that I want you to get to.
The beauty is, it's not even me doing it. It's a tribe, it's a community, because that's what we are. We're a community.
Mm-hmm.
So whether you come in for the first time or the 100th time, you would never know that you weren't there. You would never know that you were a stranger if you were brand new,
Right.
because they all still believe in just having each other's back.
The
And
empowerment.
so it's a safe place. We allow them, well, we do ask for an NDA, but we allow them to share whatever it is they need to share in order to get clarity on whatever they're struggling with. Even if
Right.
it's just 10xing their business, what is it that you're trying to do with 10xing that? And why are you trying to do it? And so everyone asks the question. So a lot of people used to say when I first started, it's like, oh, well, this is your baby. Like, it may be my baby, and there are parameters that I want things to be surrounded by it. But at the end of the day, the legacy of it is not me at all. It's all the
Mhm.
women that's a part of it, because we're all part of a tribe where it's like, who do you want at your table?
Mm.
So we're creating that table for ourselves, because society has it. I mean, society has done so much. So it's like, like men make more money, men get this, men get that. And I say men do business in the boardroom or the golf course. So that's why, I created the platform. But here's the thing. I'm not whining that men got it. Let them have it.
Right.
Let's create our own table.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're right. Men make more money because of XYZ. Okay, cool. It doesn't have to be that way. I'll just create my own table, and then I can make what I want. So let's again, mindset. Let's reprogram this to know that we are capable, fully capable of changing that energy. And everything that we do, everything that we touch is nothing more than just energy that needs to be rewired and redirected.
I love that. I really and truly love that. I work off of that every single day. Mindset is your mind. Your mind can really do a lot to you. It can make
Oh,
you or
yeah.
it can break you. And
As,
if you are not in a tribe, like what you said, if you are not in an environment where you yourself, you're pouring into me, but others are pouring into me, and now I'm able to pour
exactly.
into myself.
Exactly.
A lot of people really need to understand that. Like, there are programs, there are initiatives, there are things out there. You could do it by yourself. But
Mm-hmm.
when you have somebody, a tribe, just like what your program does, what your business does, it's always good to connect. It's always good to collaborate,
Yes.
because not only the collaboration is not only just to, help you just on the surface part, it goes deep and deep and deep and deep. You create that relationship.
Exactly.
You create that relationship. That's amazing. And just going back a little, what made you decide that you wanted to only deal with women? because that's important too. Because I'll be honest with you, I started saying that I wanted to deal with, just people within the tribe of what I was looking for. And I said, you know what? I kind of want to shift to it. So what made you strictly 100% just wanted to deal with women?
Um, I came from corporate and I saw what corporate had, and don't get me wrong, I learned so much from corporate. Like I just garnered everything that I embodied everything that it was, and I love that world. But what I found in doing business, it's like we go to men to learn, and it's we think differently. We are different. So I had this conversation with my son the other day, and I'll give you the short version of it, where we were talking about the difference between why men are paid more, and he had some very valid reasons, because we are wired in a way where, I mean, we have emotional sides to us, and it's unfortunate, but we do. You and I were talking about that yesterday, and it was just like, I know that certain times of the month I'm just like, you know what, this is just how I feel, and I am that hyper, everything happens, and it's like I realize that there's not a place for us for that, where we can just be our true authentic selves to even cope and deal with the things that we're facing as females. And then I started reading the book Think and Grow Rich for women. So Sharon Lecter did a rewrite of it, and the Napoleon Hill Foundation allowed it. And the first chapter talks about men and money and women and money. And it was like light bulb moment, because guess what? You piss a guy off and he's just going to be like, okay, whatever. And he's going to keep it moving. He keeps his job. He does his thing. A woman, though, you upset her and she's out. 6 figures. She's out. Like Shark Tank, she is out. We are emotional beings. And it's like, how do we navigate through life professionally with that? And I feel like if we could create our own table, being able to be our true authentic selves. If I feel like just being, I need to take a day for a break and not have to deal with anybody, I can do that and not have to worry about being criticized for it.
Mm.
So I just really felt like there weren't enough opportunity for women to be able to just be who they wanted to be.
That I love to hear that, because you hit it on the nose. There's not enough opportunities, and authentic opportunities.
Exactly.
That's key. Authentic opportunities. When you talk about the vision board, when you talk about the tribe, when you talk about all of those things exist on every different level.
Yes.
But they don't exist where you're getting down past the foundation. Like, I want to get down to the womb. I want to see where the flesh is. Like, why is this happening?
Yes.
And let's start working from there, building up. And congratulations to you for seeing that vision.
Thank you.
And again, most of us come from corporate, and when we go to entrepreneurship, and some people take corporate and put it into their business, which sometimes it fits and sometimes it doesn't. Or then others take corporate and change it to make it work for those who they actually want to help and work with. And
Exactly.
that's exactly what you did. Now, you have a retreat coming up. Talk to us about the retreat.
Oh my God, the retreat. It has definitely taken on a life of its own. It's October 24th through the 27th, and it's still sort of the same as the conference. So day one is all about still mind, body, and soul. Because if this isn't right, if this isn't right, I mean, my husband used to ask me, "What would you have done with all the business if you got it?" Because I was in the hospital all the time. Like I was running my body in the ground with my event planning business. Like I was, and my son used to tell me, "Mom, you're in the hospital every year." And I was.
Wow.
I literally was. And I realized, I'm like, this is not the legacy I want to leave my kids. So it's like, what would I have done with that? But anyway, so I really want to help women understand that while you're in business, because we gotta, we gotta do our thing, do our due diligence, let's not end up like Steve Jobs. He was filthy rich, but he was soul poor, and he
Yeah.
died sick. You know, his body was sick. And I mean, we can't like totally avoid everything in life. I mean, I know things happen, but if we can learn how to take care of ourselves and learn the true self-care, everyone's dropping this whole the self-care, but they're not doing it.
They're not doing it right.
You know, when you get up, you don't have to go to the gym. You can get up, walk, stand next to your bed and stretch. You know, so it's like I literally have someone coming in. We're going to be doing. I have a personal trainer coming in. I have someone coming in, working with us on doing meditation, understanding how to break those roadblocks before we even do the meditation, because not everybody understands it.
Right.
It took me a while to get used to meditation, and when I tell you it gave me a lot of peace, it really did.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm going to do a little bit of yoga. I'm giving practices of things that you can do for yourself, take back with you.
Right.
We will be talking about doing some vision boarding. I have speakers coming in for that day. For all of that is mind, body, and soul. And then the next day we're going to get up at the crack of dawn, and we're going on a hot air balloon. And
No, I'm going to stop you there. When you told me that, I was in awe. I was amazed because I've never been on a hot water on a hot air balloon. Never, ever. I've seen it on TV,
right,
and I just saw, the tranquility of just being up in the air and just floating. And this isn't an
right,
airplane. This is just quietness and just flow. So when you said that, that literally took me in my head to that 10 times higher, that this retreat is all about comfort, all about stress breaking, all about
mhm,
relief, all about the mind, body, and soul. Because
right.
that alone, I mean, everything else is great. But when you said that, I was like, I'm done.
Well, the hot air balloon is for big picture. I want people to realize, and I gave you the story with, you know, if you're an ant walking across a beautiful tapestry, the ant is not going to see anything, but I got to get across that thing.
Mm-hmm.
But as humans, we stand over it, we can see the grandeur of everything. So
Mm-hmm.
when we're that ant, when we're in ant mentality, we're in the mix of everything. And it's just like, just get me through it. I just got to do it. I just got to get done.
Right.
But if we can look at the big picture and realize when we're doing things, keep that big picture, that one thing in mind, that's where we will find that mental sustainability and that
Mm.
strength to keep moving forward. So we're gonna in the mind, body, and soul with that, and then we'll celebrate with continental breakfast and champagne, and then
Mm-hmm.
we'll go back to the house, the mansion that we have, and then we'll start with business mastery. So for those that aren't staying, because there's only like so many VIP slots for it, but there'll still be a personal trainer for those that want to still go and do the personal training that morning. And then we're going to come back and get right into business mastery that day, and then we're going to end it with like a VIP mastermind. Oh, and we have a masseuse coming, amazing company coming and doing massages for all the VIPs as well. And then we'll have a mini gala and it's just, it'll give us the opportunity to put on a cute summer dress, have
Mm-hmm.
some wine, eat some dinner. I'm bringing in a chef, and it's just it's commune with one another, and getting to know one another, a little bit of networking, but really just building, because I find that when we're doing even our masterminds, we learn better by just having casual conversations. I've
Yes.
gone to conferences and it's like, while I do learn stuff, I get overwhelmed because it's just I feel almost like when I'm at a conference, it's this, they're just give, give,
Give,
give,
give, give,
give,
give,
give,
give,
give.
give.
And it's
Right.
like, okay, I got to write faster. I got to write faster. I got to keep up. I got to keep up every now and then. Can I ask a question? And it's like, but it's just so
It's
cold.
fast paced, and then it gets to the point where you're like, let me just pull my phone out and just take pictures of the slide, or
Okay. Exactly. Exactly. So
and
I
you
want it to
lose
be
it.
conversational.
Yeah, you get the hype during the time and you
Right.
lose it afterwards, because it's like, "Ah, I gotta relax now," because it
Yep.
was just so fast paced.
Yep.
So I get it. So your retreat more is
It's,
interactive
yeah. It's experiential is what I call
experience,
it. Yeah.
an experience to enjoy this type of lifestyle.
Right. But while you're working, so when we're sitting around masterminding, we'll probably be sitting around the pool.
Nice. And that's the experience that we want people,
Mhm.
want women to realize, that you can do this.
Oh yeah.
You can take care of business on the golf course. You can take care of business at the
Exactly.
poolside. You can take care of business, right before you go into and get your massage. You can do this. It's just there's a
Exactly.
way to do it, and that's what you provide.
Yes.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Sharon, so much. I'm going to bring you back on as we get closer to the retreat.
Yeah.
So you're going to talk about all of the goodies, your speakers, and more of the layout of how folks can actually take advantage of being one of those VIPs and also regular attendees. This is like a limited amount of women that has opportunity to attend this, because what you told me the other day was that you want it to be intimate. When
Yes.
you're sometimes in a big group, there you get lost. So
Right.
you did this purposely
Hmm.
for to be intimate, because we are, as women, we're intimate,
Hmm.
and we work better when we feel comfortable.
Exactly.
So, this what you have is amazing, amazing completely. Let me put up here how folks can actually just connect with you. And you see Sharon's website right there. Please reach out to her. If you are interested in going to the retreat, make sure that you jump on that website. If you are just interested in working with Sharon and just, de-stressing yourself and learning how to get clarity in your entrepreneurial journey, Sharon is the one. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sharon. I appreciate it. Like I said, I'm going to bring you back on. We're going to talk more about this retreat. And maybe we might even have one of your keynotes come on with us and, and talk about what their angle is to help out your attendees. So thank you
Awesome.
again. Take
Thank
care,
you.
everyone.
Thank you for having me. Bye bye.
Bye.